Okay, now we're gonna do some graphing problems. All right. So to graph an inequality, it's the exact same process as graphing an equation. It really is. The goal usually is to get it in y equals mx plus b form, and that can be that's the same thing as less than or greater than, or put the equal sign. It doesn't matter. You're looking for the y and the mx plus b on opposite sides of each other. So once you have that, and this one's nice because it gives it to you. It's like ready to go. You always start by plotting your y-intercept first. And so my y-intercept is 3. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my line tool. Or actually, I think you can do this with points too, can't you? So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go up to 3. I'm going to put in a point. Okay, so let's do that. So you got a point there. And then what I'm going to do is, it's a slope of -2. So that means that if the slope is -2, it's the same thing as -2 over 1. And you're always looking at rise over run. So it goes down 2 and then over 1. So let's go down 2 over 1. Let's put a point. Okay, and then we grab our line tool, we'll move it up there, and we'll move this one over here, and then you should be good to go. Now what we have to do is we have to shade a side. So it's less than or equal to -2x plus 3. And so what you do when you're graphing this is just say to yourself, okay, I'm going to take a point that's not in that's not on the line, and that's clearly in one of the halves, right? So whenever possible, I take the origin because it's just easy. So I'm going to take the origin, so I'm going to take the point 0, 0, and I'm going to put it in this equation. This y is less than or equal to -2x plus 3. And then you'll see what happens. So we go 0, and then -2 times 0 plus 3. Okay, this goes away. And so what this says is 0 is less than or equal to 3, which it is. So we're going to shade this side because that 0, 0 point made it true. Okay, if it would have made it false, we would have shaded the other side. The other trick you can use is if it's less than, it's always going to be below the line. So if you can kind of think of this line as going this way, this would be below it. All right, some people don't quite see it that way, but I do, so that's an easy way for me to think of it. So let's do another one. All right, now let's grab my grab tool here, move this. Okay, so now they're giving us something, and it's in standard form. So what we want to do is we want to take this 5x plus 2y, and we want to rewrite it. Oops, it doesn't need that, does it? We're going to rewrite this in slope-intercept form. Okay, so that means that we've got to solve for y. So you solve for y. So let's do that. All right, so we're going to start by subtracting 5x from both sides. Okay, so that's going to give you, just pretend this isn't here. That's going to give you 2y is less than or equal to -5x plus 4. And then we're going to divide everything by 2. And you get y is less than or equal to -5/2 x. And notice how I pulled that fraction out in front. Okay, and then 4 divided by 2 is just 2. So it's just plus 2. All right, so now we're ready to rock. We know what my y-intercept is 2 because it's always the number by itself. And then my slope is -5/2, which means I'm going to go down 5 and over 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over 2. Put your point, grab your line tool, find your points, and now let's figure out where to shade this thing. Well, this is less than, so it should be the left side of the line, but the origin is clearly in that side, so let's try the origin in this, just in this equation as it is. So 5 times 0 plus, and I'm putting it in the original equation, plus 2 times 0 is less than 4. All right, so this makes 0 and this makes 0. It means 0 plus 0 is 0, so is 0 less than 4? Yeah, it sure is. So again, it's going to be this side. Okay, we'll check. Oh, you know what I forgot to do wrong, guys, is I used the wrong kind of line. I need to use a one of these lines. All right, so I gotta, yep. I forgot you had to do that with ALEKS. So, yep, and the reason it is a dashed line is because it does not have the equal under it. So your boundary line, which is the line you graph, if it's less than or greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, it is going to be solid. If you don't have that equal to line under your inequality sign, then it will be dashed. All right, we got one more problem to do, guys. Let's do this. All right, so word problems. We love word problems. All right, so it says final exam has true-false questions worth 2 points each and multiple choice questions worth 3 points each. Let X be the number of true-false questions she gets correct, and Y is the number of multiple choice questions she gets correct. She needs more than 76 points on the exam to get an A in the class. All right, so what that means is if you figure out how she calculates her points, all right? So if the true-false questions are 2 points, that's going to be 2 times X. It's going to tell you how many points she gets on the true-false questions. And then Y is her multiple choice corrections, or questions. And those are 3 points. So that plus the 3Y, because 2 times X is going to tell you what the point value is total for all of her true-false. And then 3 times Y is going to tell you what the point value is total for all of the multiple choice questions, and she has to get more than 76, so it has to be greater than 76. And then it's just a matter of using the values and variables given, writing inequality, describing this, and we just did. So let's do it. Let's see, it's greater than, so we'll use this one. And so we're going to go 2, wrong side, 2, Y, and then where's the plus on here? Plus 3X. So you know what? I got that flipped around. It's not 2Y, it's 2X. Plus 3Y is going to be greater . Going to be greater than 76 points. There we go. All right. Off with you. Good luck with this, and I hope this is helpful.